I've been planning this for nearly a year and it still makes me laugh at myself. Fuck it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mcvloglin Awards 2017, the first annual of this award ceremony. So basically, I thought this would be a bit of a laugh, sort of a more fun way of recapping a year than the slightly full-on review that I did last time. This is the fun video that I mentioned there. I also thought it could be quite cool in terms of if I'm talking about certain things, like for example, some music or whatever that you've not listened to, I might mention it and you might be like, hey, I'm going to check that out. But anyway, it was something that I wanted to do. It was something that I thought of way back when, years ago, when I originally wanted to do YouTube things. So now to actually do this as part of my YouTube things is pretty fucking cool. So I'm going to try and keep it as short and sweet. What I'm going to do is I've made a short list of 6 for each, go through that short list and then present you with the winner and explain a little bit why it's the winner over the other ones. The full list of nominees will be in the comments or some shit if anyone's actually interested. Yeah. The first award is the Icon Award. This one's a little different because there's no shortlist for this, there is just a winner. Each year it will just recognise one person who's been particularly iconic to me or my life. So the first winner of the Icon Award is Chester Bennington. So unfortunately Chester Bennington passed away during 2017, which sort of made me reflect more on sort of the impact that he had on my life, because I very much grew up listening to Linkin Park. They were a band that my brother listened to, that my parents listened to, that we listened to in the car when we were driving places. You know, from a very early age I knew their music. So I kind of went through several stages with Linkin Park, whereby when I was young it was just stuff that I listened to. I didn't really think about it, and then as I got into sort of more of my teens I kind of realised what the message of those songs were, what the lyrics were, and at times how relevant it was to my life. And I guess without even realising it, there were some messages in there I'd adopted as ways that I wanted to live my life, or things that I related to without even realising at first. And I guess with the unfortunate passing of Chester last year, it kind of reminded me how much inspiration I take from him and his words, along with obviously Mike and the rest of the band. On a sort of selfish note as well, Linkin Park will always sort of be the one band that I wish I'd got to see live. So Chester is the first recipient of the Icon Award. The next award is for Best Album. There was some really good music released this year, some of which I probably haven't even been exposed to, and this is probably one where people are going to be like, what about that album? So the shortlist for this is OK by As It Is, Safe and Sound by Lil Atlantis, Like People by You6, You by Dodie, The Peace and the Panic by Neck Deep, and The Spark by Enter Shikara. And the winner is The Peace and the Panic by Neck Deep. This was one of those occasions where an album really just came around at the right time for me. I don't know, it sounds cliche as fuck, but like, I didn't even listen to it when it first came out. I listened to a few of the singles as they were released, but afterwards I didn't listen to the album until a couple of weeks before I saw them live in October. And even at that point I didn't listen to the full album, I just listened to the songs that were going to be on the track list. So I only caught, I think, Critical Mistake and 1970 something they didn't play. So I only caught those afterwards as well. But just, I think the combination of personal love and loss, slight rebellion against the government and media, and then also sort of aspects of mental healthy kind of stuff as well. Just those are three things I guess that have been important to me. Not just they came around at the right time, but even some of the specific details. You know, the songs were just so relatable and so appropriate at times. Some of I don't listen to as much now because it was more relatable when my personal situation was a little bit different, but yeah, certainly, you know, when 2 of the songs on an album you can't really listen to without crying, it says something. It really did come around at the right time. It's just a great album, even aside from that, it's a really great album. You know, I started the year knowing 2 Neck Deep songs, and now they're one of my favourite bands. So yeah, next category is for Best Single. The shortlist for this is Where Do We Go When We Go by Neck Deep, Ocean Sickness by Neck Deep, Live Outside by Enter Shikari, The Sights by Enter Shikari, Asian Jig Pool by iDubbbz and Boyna Band, and How I Met My Ex by Dave. And the winner is Motion Sickness by Neck Deep. So as far as singles go, this one was one of the most difficult categories because there were just so many good singles. But yeah, Motion Sickness, interestingly enough, when it was first released, The music video, I watched it once, thought, it's a generic Neck Deep song, and just sort of forgot about it. I don't think I was fully listening, if I'm honest. But then when I started to get back into it ahead of the gig and afterwards, it's a really powerful song, and I think it's dressed up as just another sort of pop punk song, and you can just sort of listen to it while you're doing your pop punk things or whatever. But when you really listen to it, it actually has a lot of kick behind it, has a lot of emotion behind it, which is a good combination because you can have it in those difficult moments, or you can have it just while you're laughing around. So like, I love it as a song anyway, but in terms of the purpose of a single as well, it really sort of sold the album to me once I started listening to it some more. Next up is the similarly named but slightly different Anthem of the Year. So the difference with this, just to sort of clarify, because this is the first time doing this, this is just a song that was, as it sort of says on the tin, my anthem throughout the year. So a song that I kept going back to even if it wasn't released in 2017. That kind of sums up my year and sort of could be the soundtrack to it if there was a montage of 2017 in my biopic. I forgot the word for biopic for a second now. The shortlist for this is Had Enough by Lola Atlantis, Happy Judgment Day by Neck Deep, Don't by Ed Sheeran, In Bloom by Neck Deep, Motion Sickness by Neck Deep, and Undercover Agents by Enter Shikari. And the winner is Motion Sickness by Neck Deep. So yeah, kind of continuing on from single of the year, it's also my anthem of the year. This was also quite a difficult one because there were a couple of songs that I kept going back to and really summed up where I was at during points of the year, or how I felt during points of the year, and really could be my anthem of the year if not for Motion Sickness, if that makes sense. But if you've seen my year in review 2017, you'll know that this is kind of my anthem of the year, and I guess kind of spoil that. It's a song that really does kind of describe where I've been throughout the year and where I'm at now, to a point where I will continue to be through some of this year, I'm sure. Personally, I find it incredibly relatable, not just the quote that I had from the year in review, but really the whole song. So next up is Best YouTuber. The shortlist for this is Dodie, Mini Lad, Luke Cupford. I'm kind of mixing YouTube names and real names. The shortlist for this is Doddle, Mini Lad, Lucas Not Sexy, Emma Blackery, Emma Noodle, and iDubbbz. There's still kind of mixed names and YouTube names there, but it's fine. And the winner is Dodie. Oh no, because I said Doddle originally. Shit. You know who she is. Again, sort of linking back to the year in review, when I was going through the breakup and the loneliness of the beginning of the year. Dodie was one of the YouTubers that I really started watching and really got me back into watching and dreaming about YouTube. But yeah, and then obviously with Dodie, with her music through the year, with her book, which I have got but not yet read, and obviously with seeing her live as well. She was a really big part of my year, but the content that she was producing was really great, and also I suppose her doing a video every day in February inspired me to do a video every day in May. Obviously she's not the first person to do it, she's already done it before as well, so it wasn't just that, but that sort of gave me the idea of doing it in May when I did it, because it was like, oh well, like, that's cool, I like that as a consumer, as a watcher of you, so subscriber, that's the word. I like that as a subscriber, so maybe I should do that, and then I did it. And my hands were all over the place. We then got on to Best Live Artist. And the shortlist for this: Lola Atlantis, Mariners Trench, Yumi is 6, Neck Deep, Dodie, and Enter Shikari. And the winner is Enter Shikari. This was quite tough. I've seen some amazing bands this year, and all of them were great. Every gig I went to, I was blown away by the talent, and I came away loving the band or artist even more than when I'd got. They all could win. The reason I have Shikari is just it just went above and beyond. Like, all of the others were like an A grade, and then Shikari just came in at the end of the year with an A star. It was that kind of thing. The atmosphere, the energy, the connection to the crowd, the production, the vocal range. To be going from songs like Sorry You're Not a Winner and Arguing with Thermometers to things like Airfield and Adieu in the space of half an hour, like, that's just incredible to me, and it's mind-boggling. Next up is a slightly self-centered one. It is my favourite video that I have created, which is kind of a long title. I should probably try and shorten that down a bit. But anyway, the shortlist for this is Cringe Fest Throwback featuring Fetus Steven, Goodbye Vedim, It's Been Fun, Finn Horizon's Got the Power, Rocket League Rumble 3v3, Try Not to Laugh challenge, my MCM Expo cosplay reveal, and Bristol Weekend December. There were some long names in that. Cool. And the winner is Goodbye Vedim. It's been fun. This was kind of a difficult one because there are a lot of videos that I've made this year that I'm really proud of, or that I really love and I go back and watch. With Goodbye Vedim, Vedim I think was the peak of my year in terms of content creating, and probably one of the peaks of my year in terms of life. And that video I think is just so emotionally charged. There's so much pride in what I was able to create, and it rounded it off so nicely. And that was the first time that I really kind of was happy and proud to say, look what I've done. And it was also the first time that I was really happy to say, I want to do this. You know, I want this to be my job. I want this to be what I do. This is my dream, kind of thing. Knowing that a lot of my friends and family were going to see that. You know, watching it back a couple of months ago, I was reduced to tears, which is generally a good sign. But it's one of the videos I've gone back and watched the most, just because it gives me a kick up the ass. It gives me that rush of pride and happiness, and reminds me why I'm doing this. And I really love the sort of montage of the short clips from all through the month as well. I'm very proud of that. And then last but not least, best event. And the shortlist for this is Bristol Weekend February, Reading Festival, Neck Deep, Dodie, Enter Shikari, and Bristol Weekend December. And the winner is Bristol Weekend February. Now there were a lot of amazing events that I went to, whether it was visiting friends and family across the country, whether it was gigs, other conventions or festivals. I had a really great year in terms of opportunities, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunities that I have ahead of me. In terms of gigs, in terms of festivals, in terms of travelling to see people. This was quite a difficult one because I was pulled in different directions for different reasons to choose a couple of the nominations. In the end I went for Bristol Weekend February because it was a lot of fun and it was exactly what I needed, and it's difficult to sum up in a couple of words, but me and 3 of my closest friends just fucking around and having a laugh, having not been able to see each other in that kind of way for a long time. Like, we'd met up over Christmas and stuff, but it's not quite the same. The other time I was going through the tail end of the breakup with Kira, so I kind of had a lot on my mind, but it was perfect because they were there and I was with them, and it completely took my mind off that I was living in the moment, which is something that I don't do enough, and I addressed at the end of that video. And, you know, it was just amazing. Like, I mean, there were things through the year that were also amazing, but I don't feel like anything quite topped that. So there we have it, the first annual Mcloughlin Awards. Let me know what you thought. Obviously in terms of event, you guys weren't there, so it's not quite the same, but in terms of my video, in terms of albums, in terms of whatever, like, let me know what you would have had in the comments, or if there's anything that I've completely missed from the nominations, you know, like, what the fuck, that was great, then let me know as well. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, leave a like and stuff. Share it with your mates, although this is probably a weird one to introduce me to people. Hey, fuck it, why not? Yeah, and I will see you for a more normal video next time. Peace. And shortlist for this, if I can not burp while I'm talking. So the shortlist for this is Okay by As It Is, Safe and Sound by Atlantis, Okay, and the winner is... Actually, that feels really grandiose to say. I'm just some kid making YouTube videos in his bedroom. What am I doing? Anyway, I'm going to take off this suit because it is sweaty as fuck. You probably didn't need to know that.